So Lakers versus Suns, game number 1 is down, and the Lakers went down yesterday. We have a lot to talk about. We're going to get into what really happened, also what this means for the future of the playoff series, and if the Lakers are done or if the Suns are just too good. My name is Laksh.
I'm Sumit.
Let's get into it.
All
All right, guys, welcome to the Bare Bones Sports. We're here on the channel. We give you an unfiltered take on everything sports. Today, we are talking about game 1 of the playoffs against the Suns and the Lakers. Lots to get into, but Sumit, bottom line is, all of the score was 99-90 with the Suns winning the game. What led the Suns to win, the Lakers to lose? What was your big insight from the game?
Well, Lakers need to get better with Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis needs to get better for the Lakers. This was not a good game. Just looking at 13.7 rebounds for clarity. That's not enough to get anything done. I looked at LeBron. He did as well as I kind of expected him to, which is
with a hurt eye.
Yes, a hurt eye. He saw 5 rims today. It doesn't matter. Okay, 18 points, 10 assists, 3 steals. I still think that's beneficial. 7 rebounds, 6 defensive, 1 offensive. He still did well. But Anthony Davis, I think you got to put up a double-double on a consistent basis for him.
I agree. And to be quite honest, Anthony Davis was the hardest on himself. And afterwards, I think I saw it on Twitter where he was noted to be quoted in saying that I have to be better, and our team basically lost because of him. And I agree. He was minus 18 from the field. But really, who dominated him was not his lack of productivity, but his opponent on the other side and the young Deandre Ayton, who just destroyed the game with 21 points plus 16 from the field and a nice 16 rebounds, 10 and 11 from the field. For somebody that young who's not been in the playoffs with a team that pretty prior to Monty Williams coming and Chris Paul coming in, didn't really have much hopes. The Phoenix Suns were at the bottom of the Western Conference year after year. And now being your first game of the playoffs against LeBron James and the Lakers, to play like that, that's amazing. Obviously, we know Devin Booker is going to show up when you give him the chance with 34 points. And I know people are going to talk about Chris Paul only getting 7 points and not being a good game for him. But to be quite honest, Chris Paul's not there for his points, although he'll get those for you. He's there really to be point guard. And while he only got 7 points, also got a nice, healthy 8 assists. And he's there to be the nice leader of his team because he's been in the playoffs, whether it be with the Oklahoma City Thunder last year or with the Houston Rockets when they were pretty close to being the Warriors several years ago with James Harden.
Yeah, I mean, going into this game, going into the series in general, I think everyone wanted to look at both LeBron James and Chris Paul and see who would do amazing. This was not that display in this game. LeBron didn't go over 20. Chris Paul didn't go over 20. This was not a crazy game by either one of those two. I was least surprised by Devin Booker scoring 34. This is his first playoff game, if I'm not mistaken, and that's a performance I actually expected. This is exactly what you needed from him, and he showed up. Deandre Ayton, if he can keep up with this pace, this is the most dangerous that it could be. Because if it was just Chris Paul, if it was just Devin Booker, I don't think they have more than 2 games in them.
So now let's get to the most important question of what does game 1 tell you about the rest of the series?
It tells you that the Lakers are still vulnerable as they've been. It shows you that Anthony Davis isn't always automatic. He did well last year in the playoffs, and that's what led them into winning a finals. But even then, I think if he doesn't play to the degree that he should, they're not going to come out of this. Yeah. Even if they come out of this series, I do not think that they're going to come into the championship and actually win this.
Yeah, I think we kind of already expected. We see the Lakers being a little hobbled throughout the year and both their key players. But I think the thing that people forget is that the Lakers currently are the 7th seed, but people are putting them on this pedestal if they're number 2 or 3 in the Western Conference. Because as of a few weeks ago, they were 4th in the West before the injuries kind of made them tank into the play-in tournament. And so in reality, this is almost as if they were playing into the Western Conference Finals, and the Suns happen to be their competition. But they're having essentially that degree of talent play against them in the first round of the playoffs. So I think you're going to get them tested, and they don't have the momentum because both of their players have just started to, actually play with the team. Right. They're still hobbled. LeBron's getting his eye poked all the time. Anthony Davis is on the ground half the
12
time.
Rims.
So 12 rims by the end of this video. Yes. And so ultimately, I think it's going to be a big test for the Lakers. I think it's going to be a nice confidence game for the Suns. But the series is by no means over. No. And I don't think we would be surprised if the Lakers lost or if the Phoenix Suns won. So to end this episode off, how does the series end? What do you have it going to?
I think probably 6 games. It would be really surprising if the Lakers don't drop at least one of these. I think the Lakers are going to win.
Lakers in 6. So you think they're going to take 4 of the next 5?
Yes, I do. I just think it's enough of a gut check to get back to reality and let everybody perform.
Yeah, I am not as bullish on the Lakers this year, and I think the argument that you are seeing a greater talent earlier and off in the playoffs makes me think that this series, goes to 7. And I still wouldn't be surprised if the Phoenix Suns took it home. So I'm going to say Phoenix Suns in 7.
All right. Lakers in 6.
All right. All right, guys. Well, that was it for this episode. Let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you agree? Is it going to be Lakers in 4? Although they already lost 1 game.
Yeah.
If you guys did enjoy this episode,
the Lakers go back in time and win in 4 games.
There you go. Very, very unlikely. But who knows? LeBron may
I've seen quantum leap.
LeBron may be seeing time travel now that he's saying 12 rims. But if you guys did enjoy this episode, go ahead and drop some of your suggestions down below in the comment section of things that you guys want us to cover in future episodes of Bare Bones. And with that being said, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Later.